students, this is the 7th part of P block elements. Today we are going to discuss some important questions based on noble gases. So let us take the questions one by one. Which of the following statements about noble gases is incorrect? So first one, xenon and radon are the rarest elements of the group. Yes, that is true. And argon is the major constituent of the approximately 1% atmospheric abundance of noble gases. Yes, that is also true here. See, when you consider noble gases, all the noble gases together, they make 1% of atmospheric abundance. Okay, so in that, argon is the major constituent, and xenon and radon are the rarest elements in that particular group. Okay, and C says the main commercial source of helium is natural gas. So that is also true here. Main commercial source for this helium is natural gas. Then D is all noble gases without exception are present in the Earth's atmosphere. See, in atmosphere, this radon will not be present. Okay, others will be present but not radon. So this statement becomes incorrect. Next one. Consider the following associations. Natural gas is given as main commercial source of argon. It's not for argon, right? Just now we have seen it is for helium. Then radium, it is the decay source of radon. That is true actually. So when you consider this radium 22688, this undergoes alpha decay to form radon 22286 with the emission of alpha particle, that is helium nuclei. Okay, so that is the decay source of radon. So 2 is correct here. Then clevite, source of xenon. It is not the source of xenon, it is of helium and neon. First two. Okay. Then dry air contains approximately 1% of noble gases by volume. Yes, that is correct. That means here 2 and 4 are correct. Yeah, which of the following are correct is asked. So 2 and 4. Next one. Yeah, so pitch blende, monazite and clevite are minerals of radioactive origin. Which noble gases are specifically noted as being found within them? So as I told you, for clevite, it is helium and neon, right? Same for all these. Okay, so it is helium and sometimes neon. That means the major one is helium here and neon is also present. Okay. Next. Noble gases exhibit exceptionally low melting and boiling points. Yes, because here in noble gases, when you consider any particular noble gas, say argon, between the atoms of argon, there will be weak dispersion force, right? So, because of that, what happens? The bond is easy to break. Correct. So when it is easy to break, they'll have low melting and boiling points. So the reason is also given. The only type of interatomic interaction present in noble gases is weak dispersion force. So here both A and R are true and it is the correct explanation of A. Okay. And one more thing is when you move down the group, when you consider all these helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon, when you move down the group, size increases, right? So as the size increases, surface area also increases. So due to that, the interactions will increase. Okay, so down the group, the interactions, that is interatomic interactions, will be more. Fine. So if they ask anything related to that, that also you should know. That means down the group, what will happen here? Melting and boiling points will increase because it will become difficult to break the bond. Next, which of the following is an unusual property of helium? So it forms diatomic molecules. No. It has ability to diffuse through commonly used laboratory materials such as rubber, glass or plastic. So this is a true statement. Here in helium, being the first member of the family, we have very weak dispersion forces, right? That means it will get diffused very easily. Okay, so it has this ability to diffuse. Then it lacks weak dispersion forces. No. It is completely insoluble in water. No. All the noble gases are sparingly soluble in water. Okay. Next. All noble gases exist as monoatomic species that are intensely colored and easily detectable by smell. No, it is incorrect because they are colorless and odorless. Okay, so statement 1 is incorrect. Helium possesses the lowest boiling point of any known substance. This statement is true. It has a boiling point of only 4.2 Kelvin. Okay, so for this, it is statement 1 is incorrect, but 2 is correct. Next. What specific experimental observation and subsequent realization led Neil Bartlett to successfully synthesize the first noble gas compound? This compound was synthesized by him. So, here this comparison about the ionization energy of xenon and molecular oxygen, O2, right? To make Xe plus from Xe and O2 plus from O2, we need almost same amount of energy. Okay, that means the first ionization energy is identical for them. Okay, that's the realization. So he realized that the first ionization enthalpy of molecular oxygen is almost identical to that of xenon. So that is the correct answer here. Due to that realization, then he could synthesize this particular compound similar to this one, O2 plus PT F6 minus. Okay. Next. Assertion. Following Bartlett's discovery, a large number of xenon compounds have been synthesized with almost all p block elements. See, first Bartlett discovered this particular compound Xe plus and PtF6 minus. So after this, other xenon compounds also were discovered, but it is not with all the p block elements. It is only with most electronegative elements like fluorine. See, you must have seen the compounds like this, right? And all the compounds are with fluorine or oxygen, this type of compounds. Okay, so your reason says mainly synthesized with most electronegative elements. So that is correct. That means here A is false but R is true. Okay. Next. Which of the following accurately describes the current chemical status of krypton and radon? So here when you consider the first one, neither element forms any true compound similar to argon, neon and helium. See here, argon, neon and helium, they don't form any true compounds, but krypton and radon, they form. Okay, they form this type KrF2 and RnF2. Then both have well isolated and thoroughly studied fluorides and oxides. No. Krypton difluoride has been studied in detail. Yes, while the radon difluoride has only been identified via radio tracer techniques, okay, without being isolated. Means this is not actually isolated, but it is just identified. This is studied in detail. Okay, so this is true about these compounds. Then last one, it is given radon forms numerous stable compounds, whereas krypton compounds cannot be isolated. No, right? So radon cannot form actually. Krypton can form at least a few compounds. Yeah. Next, which of the following compounds has a red color? So here we know that the properties of this XC, PTF6 and also this one both are same, and when these are synthesized both are having red color. Okay. Yeah, so these are the questions from noble gases, that is 18th group. That's all for this P block elements. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you.